World War II was represented in a positive fashion through movies and literature until recent times. As the entertainment industry grew and all-around interest, movies and literature shifted the perceptions of World War II from positive to negative, or to say, more truthful ones. Nowadays, people want to resolve conflicts through politics and talking, rather than by armed conflict. Movie producers have realized this and have started depicting war as accurately as possible, as to deter people from wanting war. Most of the movies in recent times have depicted the war as being negative and destroying soldiers' will and morals. Filmmakers have shifted from glorifying the war to trying to get the audience to actually get a sense of what the good war conceals. In the years right after World War II, movies did not show what stood behind the good war and made the soldiers seem as if they were all Rambo. Filmmakers glorified the war due to increased patriotism and healing after the war. The military department released a movie called Why We Fight, which showed the reasons for the war. In this film, the producers didn't show any combat and just talked about why they fight. They didn't want to deter soldiers from signing up with accurate depictions of war in the film. If a person just saw a movie with soldiers marching and being treated as heroes, they would sign up. These were the exact thoughts of the film producers, and that is why they made a positive, popular conception of the war. After World War II, America was healing and needed a morale boost. Film producers soon began creating films that showed American soldiers as bulletproof Rambos that could not be killed. People want to be reassured that the war was necessary, so by being shown American action films being the heroes, they believed that everything turned out alright and was necessary. Many of John Wayne's action films about World War II depict him running around the battlefield, dodging every bullet and taking out endless droves of Nazis with ease. The popular conception after the war was that everyone on the battlefield was a hero. Movies depicting heroes were very popular and were exactly what people wanted to see. After the war, people were very patriotic, and to film producers, nothing seemed more patriotic than honoring the soldiers in a film. In modern times, people are tired of wars and want to have more diplomatic resolutions to a conflict. Wars cost a lot of money and lives and time. With there being a recession in modern times, the last thing people want is the government spending billions of dollars on a war. This would only increase taxes, putting people further in debt and making America and Americans unhappy. As a simple deterrent, film producers have begun making films depicting wars as accurately as possible. World War II films no longer depict the bulletproof Rambo running around fighting off endless droves of Nazis. Instead, the main hero in the film goes through a grueling fight only to end up dead or handicapped for the rest of his life. The popular conception of the World War II films has shifted from every hero being bulletproof to every hero being an ordinary soldier who did his duty and died in an honorable way. In the recent film Fury, all the heroes in the movie died, sending shockwaves through the audience. The film was very gory and gruesome, shocking many people. You could see people getting shot and their heads flying away, or battalions of tanks clashing with another 100 tanks, or the morale struggles that the soldiers went through. Struggles that show that the World War II hasn't been seen in the past. With war no longer being depicted as all glory and no guts, the conceptions have shifted quite a bit. People don't look at wars like World War II with courage and bravery anymore. Instead, simply, they want peace. Film producers realize this and are now trying to give people as accurate of a depiction of war as possible. Literature also has followed a very similar path as films. During World War II, soldiers were talked about as being all heroes and invincible. People like this literature because that is what they read. After World War II, America was in a time of feeling increased patriotism, so the popular conception in literature was that everyone was still a hero. In modern times, books have begun depicting World War II and other wars very accurately, which shocks many people. People don't want armed conflict. The popular conceptions of World War II have changed quite a bit over the years, during, after, and in modern times. However, not all post-war literature had a positive, heroic tone put to it. Ernest Hemingway, for an example, was an ambulance truck driver during World War I, and after the war ended, his work, literature, and poems became very dark, with much sorrow and depression. He wrote about how horrified and terrible he felt during the war, driving the truck, saving people that are all nearly dead, and seeing some that died. This shows how truly Hemingway felt during the war and how World War I affected the way he looked at life's importance. Perceptions seen through movies and literature were positive after the war, but as modern times approached, producers revised the way they wanted their audience to see the war. Nowadays, both producers and writers have revealed the good war.